Picture this. You're driving down the highway, minding your business, when suddenly someone cuts you off and slams on the brakes. Your heart's pounding, your hands are shaking, and now you've got to explain to insurance what just happened. That's where a dash cam can literally save your day and your wallet. That's why, today, I'm breaking down the 10 best dash cams you can get your hands on right now. All the links to these cams are in the description below, so if you see one that fits your vibe, check it out. Now, let's get into it. At number 10, we have the REDTIGER F7NP. This one gave me a solid first impression. You're looking at a dash cam that gives you 4K front recording and 1080p in the rear. The lens gives you a 170-degree field of view, which was more than enough to catch full intersections and wide turns. One thing I really liked was the integrated GPS and Wi-Fi. Getting footage off of it is seamless if you're using the app. Night vision was another strong point. I tested it in some back roads with no streetlights, and the clarity was surprisingly sharp. It holds up well in city traffic, too. Build quality feels solid, and the install was pretty simple, though the cable management does take a bit of creativity to keep things tidy. Compared to the Vantrue N2X, which I've included as number 9 on this list, the F7NP definitely wins in resolution, but it lacks the interior-facing camera, which is a deal-breaker for rideshare drivers. The pros include 4K front recording, wide-angle lens, and GPS tracking. The cons include no interior camera and limited app functionality. At number 9, we have the Vantrue N2X. This is the type of dash cam I'd recommend if you do Uber or Lyft, or just want to keep tabs on what's happening inside your car. The front camera records in 2.7K, and the cabin-facing cam records at 1080p with infrared sensors. In my experience, the cabin footage remained crystal clear even in pitch-dark parking lots. It also connects over 5 GHz Wi-Fi, which makes transferring files faster and less frustrating. Voice control worked most of the time, though I noticed it lagged slightly when music was playing in the background. Compared to the Vantrue N4, which I've included as number 8 on this list, the N2X lacks a rear camera, but brings higher resolution up front and better internal coverage. The pros include dual recording, 5G Wi-Fi, and HDR night vision. The cons include no rear camera and higher price point. At number 8, we have the Vantrue N4. I used this model during a road trip from Colorado to Utah, and let me tell you, if you're looking for total vehicle coverage, this is the one. It captures 4K from the front, 1080p from the inside, and 1080p from the rear all at the same time. The dynamic range and detail in the footage, even while driving through varied lighting conditions like tunnels and bright highways, was top-notch. The interface is simple, but the size of the device is bulkier than some people might like. It mounts firmly though, and once it's up, it does its job. Compared to the Garmin Mini 2, which I've included as number 7 on this list, the N4 delivers broader coverage, but at the cost of size and stealth. The pros include 3-channel recording, large storage support, and built-in audio. The cons include bulkier design and higher power consumption. At number 7, we have the Garmin Mini 2. I picked this one for my secondary car, mostly because of how ridiculously small it is. It mounts behind the rear-view mirror, and you'll forget it's even there. The 1080p footage looks great in daylight and holds up okay at night. It also connects to the Garmin Drive app, and the voice controls are responsive. I will say that if you want multi-channel coverage, this is not your camera. Still, for someone who wants discreet, no-nonsense, front-only protection, this is a top-tier option. Compared to the Vantrue N4 Pro, which I've included as number 6 on this list, the Mini 2 is way more compact but misses out on advanced features and multicam setups. The pros include compact size, voice control, and automatic incident saving. The cons include single-channel recording and no display screen. At number 6, we have the Vantrue N4 Pro. Think of this as the evolution of the N4. You get the same 3-camera coverage, but with improved sensors. I was blown away by how sharp the night footage was, especially when it came to capturing license plates. That's thanks to the Starvis 2 sensor and the new Plate Pix feature. It even records at 4K up front and 1080p inside and out. Setup is a little complex, especially if you're trying to route all the wires for full coverage, but once it's in place, it runs like a champ. Compared to the Rove R2 Dual, which I've included as number 5 on this list, the N4 Pro is sharper and more high-tech, but also much more expensive. The pros include 4K front recording, advanced license plate capture, and voice control. The cons include higher cost and larger file sizes. At number 5, we have the Rove R2 Dual. This one was my go-to for a while because it offers high-definition recording up front and in the rear. The footage is sharp and the audio recording is surprisingly clear too. It has built-in Wi-Fi and GPS, and the mobile app is one of the better ones I've used. Navigating footage, downloading clips, and changing settings were all easy. It supports up to 1 terabyte of storage, which is great if you are on the road a lot. Compared to the Escort M2, which I've included as number 4 on this list, the R2 Dual does not integrate with a radar detector, but gives you more standalone value for video quality. The pros include high-resolution recording, large storage support, and dual-band Wi-Fi. The cons include no interior camera and bulkier design. At number 4, we have the Escort M2. If you already own an Escort radar detector, this is a seamless add-on that expands your road awareness. It offers 1080p video, GPS tagging, and cloud video storage. I liked how it integrated directly with my radar detector and used the same mount, which kept the windshield clean. The downside is that it's more of a niche product. If you don't own an Escort detector, you'll miss out on a lot of what makes it useful. Compared to the ROVE R3, which I've included as number 3 on this list, the M2 is less versatile on its own, but excels when paired with radar systems. The pros include radar detector integration, cloud video management, and built-in GPS. The cons include single-channel recording and higher price point. At number 3, we have the ROVE R3. This is one of the best all-around dash cams I've tested. You get 3-channel coverage, great night vision, a responsive touchscreen, and solid app functionality. The cabin camera even has infrared, so you're covered during night drives or rideshare gigs. One underrated feature is the voice guidance. It tells you when recording starts and stops, which gives peace of mind. The screen is large and the menu navigation is intuitive. Compared to the Scosche NEXC1, which I've included as number 2 on this list, the R3 offers far better coverage and sharper image quality. The pros include 3-channel recording, touchscreen interface, and large storage support. The cons include bulkier design and higher power consumption. At number 2, we have the Scosche NEXC1. This dashcam is extremely easy to install and operate. It has a sleek, minimal design and records clear 1080p video. It includes GPS tracking and Wi-Fi for transferring footage directly to your phone. It's not flashy, but it's reliable. One thing I noticed is how well it stayed cool during extended drives, even under direct sunlight. Compared to the Rove R2, which I've included as number 1 on this list, the NEXC1 lacks the ultra-sharp 4K video, but offers a more compact and heat-resistant design. The pros include compact design, GPS tracking, and Wi-Fi connectivity. The cons include lower resolution and single-channel recording. At number 1, we have the Rove R2. This dashcam stands out for its 4K recording quality and excellent build. I've used it in both my daily driver and my truck, and it's never let me down. The footage is incredibly detailed, especially when reviewing accident footage or license plates. The app is easy to use, the GPS data is accurate, and it even has parking mode to watch over your vehicle when you're away. Compared to the REDTIGER F7NP, which I've included as number 10 on this list, the Rove R2 is more intuitive and durable in my experience. The pros include 4K recording, wide-angle lens, and built-in GPS. The cons include no rear camera and larger file sizes.